everyone, my name is Nelly. I'm so happy to have you over on my channel. Today we are going to be doing a chit chat catching up session, and I am going to share with you guys things that I probably wouldn't have normally shared, but I feel as though I'm in a place in my life where I want to be open with my audience here on YouTube. And I feel as though my audience from TikTok, the people that watch my videos there, have sort of made me feel like the people that follow you and watch your content can be friends to you. They can be like your online friends. So I really want to build that here on YouTube as well. Hence, I feel as though I need to open up to you guys, because previously on my channel I have always kept things very surface level. I never really spoke to you guys or shared with you guys what was going on in my life. I don't even think a lot of you guys know much about me. Like I said, I do feel as though that my audience here on YouTube doesn't really know me well. So I'm gonna take this video as sort of like a rebirth of my YouTube career. I had a very small audience here on YouTube, people who were quite loyal. I wasn't very consistent with me posting, and the people that used to watch my content used to be so supportive of me. They used to always watch, and they used to always keep up with whatever I wanted to post, even though they didn't really know much about me. So now I would like for us to start on a fresh new page. Okay, so I am going to tell you guys a little bit about me so that you guys can get to know me better, so that when we move on from this video we are in a better place. The first one is, let's get to know me. Right, so I am 30 years old. I am turning 31 in 2 months time in January. I am married. I was born in East London. I grew up in Mxokozeli, but my family moved from Mxokozeli to the villages, so that's where we stay currently. I grew up in East London for the most part, and then when I was 12 years old I moved to Cape Town. That's where I stayed with my sister. And I went to grade 7 in Cape Town. I went to high school in Cape Town and varsity in Cape Town as well. And in varsity is where I met my husband. But at that time we were not dating, we were just classmates. And then after varsity, I went and I got myself a job that was not related to the qualification that I had acquired. So the job was supposed to be something to keep me busy as I was busy with my BTech. It was supposed to be something that will help me earn money. My BTech was supposed to take 2 years, and it was part-time. So I didn't attend all the time. We had block weeks, and that was like 1 week out of a month, and the other 3 weeks I had a lot of time. So I got the job, and I ended up staying in that job for 7 years. Was it 6 years? Or just over 6 years? Yes, I ended up staying in that job for just over 6 years. That was not the plan. So when I was in that job, I was quite frustrated with my life, because obviously I was doing something that I didn't love. I knew that I really wanted to be in the creative space. I knew that I really wanted to be a makeup artist. I knew that I really wanted to do something that is not related to my qualification, which is engineering, and I knew that I did not want to be at that job which I was at. I felt like time was passing me by. At this point I was 29 years. I was 28. Okay. So at this point I was 28 years old. I was close to 30, and I was living a life of pure frustration. I could not afford to get myself my own place. I couldn't afford to have a car. I couldn't afford so many aspects of my life that I felt like, even though they would have been nice things to have and perhaps viewed as luxuries, I really felt as though they really would have helped my life be better. Okay, I'll explain. Firstly, with a place to stay, I was staying in a house in Montclair, because that was very close to my workplace, and in that house I was sharing with a guy. So I was renting a room, he was also renting a room, and then we were sharing the common spaces. Luckily we were just sharing the bathroom, we were just sharing the lounge and the kitchen. So in this situation I was very frustrated, not because necessarily of the guy, but because I was in that situation. If you guys know anything about Cape Town, rent is very expensive in Cape Town, and I could not afford to get a place of my own. So let me clarify that. When I say that I couldn't afford to get a place of my own, I could have gotten a place of my own. However, I've always been a person that felt as though when I have money, I never want my salary to be split amongst my bills to a point that I have less than 2,000 rands to work with at the end of the day. That's never been something that I've wanted in my life because I feel like it's very restricting. I always wanted for me to have a lot of money in my bank account, like let's say 5,000 and upwards every single month that is not located to my debt. So I made the decision to rent a room based on that because I knew that if I rent a room and I pay for all the other things that I needed to pay for, which were my monthly expenses, I would still have 5,000 and upwards left in my bank account. So that's why I say that I could not afford. If I wanted, I could have probably rented a place for 5,000 rands or more, but I feel as though that would have made me very uncomfortable. It would have put me in a very tight financial situation, and I did not want that. I would rather share a house and be financially free as opposed to get my own place and then struggle to upkeep my lifestyle. Okay, mind you, my lifestyle wasn't even that busy. I literally did not have a personal life. All I did was go to work, come back, go to my room. And I was so frustrated in my life. I was so frustrated in my career. I was so frustrated at home because of the sharing situation. Again, not necessarily because of the guy I was staying with, but because I couldn't afford to have my own place. So because of all these frustrations in my life and knowing that I am simply just going along with life and I'm not necessarily living, I felt as though it was time for me to make a change in my life. I used to always tell a friend of mine that if I would die right now, I'll be so upset with God because I feel like I really have not lived my life. And I felt as though if that is how I feel, then it's about time that I changed. All right. Then I got a job in Cape Town. I'm saying in Cape Town as in like the city, but I got a job in Cape Town as in like CBD. And at that point, I was staying in Montclair. That job is the pushing factor for me being where I am right now. Because had I not left my first job to go to the job in the CBD, I would have probably still been in that situation even today because it was a very comfortable situation. As much as I was unhappy, but I was very familiar with every aspect of my life at that point. But the job in Cape Town, CBD, really pushed me and made me so uncomfortable in my life that I felt a need to make a change. So let me paint a picture for you guys. So I used to wake up at 4 a.m. every morning, and I used to rush to leave the house at 5 a.m. And I had quite a bit of distance to walk, right? So from the house I was staying at, I had a long distance, not a long distance, but I think maybe roughly 15 minutes, 20 minutes to walk, right? And the area I was staying at, the public transport didn't really come close to the house I was staying at, right? So you sort of had to have a car. If you didn't have a car, you'd get off quite far from your house. So it was very quiet. You can imagine 5 a.m. I had to walk from the house at 5 a.m., run to where the taxis are, and because there aren't a lot of people, taxis were on a schedule. So there was a taxi at 5 a.m., there's a taxi at 5:15. So I had to rush to get the taxi at 5:15, and then the taxi would go to the taxi rank, and at the taxi rank I had to run out of that taxi, run to another taxi so that I get to Cape Town CBD. And then when I got to the CBD, I had to walk very fast to work because I chose to start my work at 6:30 in the morning. Even that might sound crazy, but listen, the reason why I did that was because I knew that if I started at 6:30, then I finished at 2:30. And if I finish at 2:30, if you guys are very familiar with Cape Town and the taxi rank, you would know that the closer you get to 5 o'clock, the more hectic it is to get transport and leave the CBD quite early. So I wanted to finish early enough for me to make my way to the taxi so that I can rush back home in time. Had I chosen to finish work at 3 o'clock, I probably would be getting stuck in Cape Town for another hour. But if I finish at 2:30, luckily when I get to the taxi rank, there aren't that many people sometimes, well, most times. Then I'd manage to get a taxi and I'd make my way back to Mandalay. So that was my life. And I'm not even exaggerating, you guys. And I don't want to make it seem like I am saying something negative for maybe a person that is currently living in that situation. But I feel as though because so many other aspects of my life were not giving into my soul in any shape or form, that was a breaking point for me, right? Because I leave the house at 5 o'clock, I run to a taxi, and then when I get off that taxi, I run to another taxi. When I get off that second taxi, I have to rush to get to work on time. And at work, afterwards, I'm rushing to get a taxi going back home. And then when I get home, I'm so spent mentally, physically. I rest, and by 7 p.m. I need to be sleeping, because if I want to wake up early the following day, I need to make sure I've had enough rest. So now that I've painted that picture, you guys understood how I was feeling. I felt so frustrated in my life. And that was the point where I decided, you know what? I think it's about time I tried to pursue my dreams. And I prayed to God. I tried to get God to give me an answer as to what I'm supposed to do with my life. I already had acquired my qualification as a makeup artist, and I really wanted to move to Johannesburg, which is where I am right now, and try to pursue that career. So I prayed to God. I asked God for guidance, because I knew I couldn't do that with just making up my own mind. I wanted God to intervene. I wanted God to be the one that gave me the assurance that I can do it. So after God having answered me in a way that is undeniable, and I'm so grateful even till this day, I made the decision to leave Cape Town and I came to Johannesburg. Luckily in Johannesburg, I was blessed with a husband at that time, boyfriend, who was so understanding, who was so supportive. I came to stay with him, and he was very supportive in my journey of trying to pursue my dreams. I moved to Johannesburg, and I was so blessed to get my first working opportunity. And from that work opportunity, I met a man who was so kind, who understood when I said that, oh, I'm new to Johannesburg, I'm trying to pursue this career of being a makeup artist. And he was like, no problem, whenever there's a job that comes along, I'll let you know. And from meeting him, I managed to acquire more jobs, and that's currently where I am in my life. So I've always done social media, I've always done Instagram and YouTube, but honestly speaking, there was nothing that was moving forward. Fast forward to today. Now I'm in Johannesburg, things are going well, doors are opening for me in terms of a career as a makeup artist, and I'm just so happy and I'm so grateful. So I'm staying with my then boyfriend, which is now my husband. I'm staying with him, things are going great between us, and God finally blessed us with being able to get married to each other. So that's the part where you guys don't know. If you only watch me here on YouTube, you probably don't know about that part. So this year, 2023, on the 29th of October, I got married to my husband, and I am just so happy. It's only been like a month now. Oh my goodness. No, today's the 30th. Okay. I thought it was like a 1 month anniversary of me being married, but that was yesterday. So it's been a month now of me being married to my husband. You guys have seen him here on my channel before, and I'm just so happy. So now I'm trying to make my way back into YouTube. I have posted a lot of things on TikTok. I found my footing on TikTok, and I'm so grateful. Instagram is a bit hard for me, I can't lie, because I hardly ever do anything aesthetically pleasing. And you know, Instagram is very much about curated content, beautiful content, and I hardly ever do any of those things. Most of the time I'm here at home. If I do any work, it's probably here at home. I do go out with my husband, but most times I'm not in that mental space where I'm like, okay, I need to capture content for Instagram. I think that's one thing I really need to change. I need to get into my Instagram groove. So now I'm here and I am so excited to start this journey with you guys. restart this journey with you guys. If you don't follow me on TikTok, please make sure to go follow me on TikTok. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please make sure to go follow me on Instagram. And starting tomorrow, I'll be posting a vlog each and every day until the 25th of December. I think that's where I'll end it. And then on TikTok, obviously, I'll probably be posting until whenever, because it's much easier to vlog on TikTok because your phone is always in your hand, so it's very easy to capture the moment, and the editing process of TikTok is also very easy. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please make sure you subscribe before you click out of this video. And yes, that's pretty much it. I wanted to catch you guys up on what's going on in my life, and I feel like we're all caught up now. Okay, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow for the second video of Vlogmas, and stay well.